Oh, it's too late. We are already on. Hey guys, what's up? This is the third ever episode of the Bitter Jury Podcast. We are reviewing tonight's Eviction episode of Big Brother Canada 6. And what an episode, be it good or bad. We're going to find out. I am Kelly.
I'm Jacob.
Hello, my name is Lucifer. Hello.
So let's get right into it. The first thing that I wrote about after, so Johnny was like getting really, really frustrating to me because like he was up in the middle of the night, like trying to figure it out. And that just, he really seems like he's overthinking it. And I'm so disappointed in him. Like everything that he's talked about so far about laying low in the early interviews, like that's all gone out the window.
And we're talking about Johnny, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
So how'd the episode start off again? Because I caught like the last.
So it started off with Allie actually came up and started to talk to Johnny. I was trying to get that target off of her right away because she was the first one down, and I was like,
right.
"Yeah, girl, get it, girl!" Like I was so proud of her. And so then Johnny was like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna like pretend to be the easily malleable house guest that anyone can manipulate me." And yeah, he kind of just seemed to throw that out the window throughout this entire episode.
Right.
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah. As the person who drafted Johnny, I'm not too pleased. Yeah, he really laid it on thick. He didn't come off as genuine at all. In his diary rooms or his interaction with house guests, like he just made himself look like an idiot because nobody believes that you're that emotional day one or week one of Big Brother. I'm sorry, you're just not.
Unless
I
you're Vanessa.
I 100% agree. I think unless you're Vanessa Russo, but I mean, and then let's be real, she used a lot of that for strategic purposes.
Yeah.
But I do think listen, I mean, gosh, he reminds me so much of Mitch. Can we just say that he is like Mitch to the T? But I feel like he's going in a little too hard. He's going a little too he's just gosh, I feel like he just wanted to kind of he was very messy. Let's just say that. He was all over the place. He kind of had one strategic point of view that he wanted to go, and they kind of went another way. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling his reign. I really wasn't. I think that he didn't really know what he wanted to do, so he kind of like he went slow and then went hard and then went slow and then just Rosina was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Spoiler alert. I mean, not that the episode's over, but yeah.
Oh.
So I was pretty impressed with like Rosita and how she was bringing it like before nomination. She was just like, shit, don't put me up. Like that would be really freaking stupid. And before we get any further, I forgot to mention that Daniel's not here right now.
Oh yeah.
So we did not Daniel's having internet problems, so that's why he is not on this podcast tonight. But by our next episode, he should definitely be back on with us, which I'm pumped about. So let's go back into the episode. What else was sticking out to you guys before the competition?
Okay, so Rosina is / was my new favorite. She is wonderful television. I'm so sad that she's no longer in the Big Brother house. She really worked hard, like you said. She's like, hey, look, like, it doesn't make sense for you to put me up, Johnny. Why would you put me up? You should put up the first two that dropped. That should be your strategy. And he just came back with like a really catty excuse. And but she did definitely try really hard to get that target off of her back.
Yeah, I agree.
It shouldn't have been there in the first place.
I mean, she Rosina kind of played it. I have to say, Rosina really played it. She pulled out her cards, and I was happy. For a second, I was like, yes, because she's in my draft. So I was like, go her. I was like, how lucky could I get? I got, it was default the reason that I got Rosina because she was kind of our last pick. But then I was, gosh, she had a lot of potential. Let's just say that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she super duper did. Oh man, I think these house guests are so stupid.
Yeah,
So
you know,
I
I
hate
don't,
to
I
like
don't
fast
understand.
forward, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
where my mind is going to
Yeah.
the vote
Yeah.
because it ended up being Allie and Rosina. I said Rosita. It's Rosina on
Right.
like the block at the end. And the fact that I mean, people saw that Allie was there to play, and Rosina didn't get any balls in her thing. And you want to get out someone who is literally a non-threat in the first week,
Right.
like, oh man, that was. They are super going to regret that
Right.
so much.
I really hope that this isn't a season of unanimous votes. I hate seasons of unanimous votes where the house goes one way and you know where the house is going the whole week. Like, I really hope there are people in the house that are going to be willing to throw some votes and make some votes 5-4, 6-3, and really be dissenters in the house. This first eviction really had the potential to be a split house, but it wasn't, and that makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
I agree. And Kelly, what was it that Allie said that stuck out to you on her
Um.
eviction speech?
Oh, so when Allie was saying at the very end, she said, "If you keep me in, that's a good idea. But if you vote me out, then you're drawing a line in the sand." I think that like there were already clips of my pencil man, Hansa trying to like flip the vote to keep Rosina. But I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be seeing this unanimous vote. Hopefully, the whole season, just only because like why else would you say there's like this line in the sand? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I think she was kind of talking out of her ass a little bit. I don't think that she actually meant that. I think that it sounded a lot scarier than like any context she could put into it. So like I don't think she was actually talking about an actual line in the sand, but it was the scariest thing she could think of to say.
Jacob,
But
let me have my moment, okay?
okay.
Yeah. Allie, I'm glad she did it though. Even though she's your draft pick, I'm actually really glad that she's still in the house. I do have
Yeah.
to say, I would have been extremely disappointed if I didn't see any more of her. I like how she was. I like that. I mean, I'm sure it's just the edit, and the edit, by the way, tonight was just. I hope that I don't know. I hope that they're not getting advice from the Big Brother USA edit because this edit was just really awful tonight. I'm so sorry, but I was just expecting a lot more. I was expecting a lot more from the premiere, the 2-night premiere, and it's just my aspect of the game is I like the dynamic aspect, and I've just gotten absolutely nothing except for the alliance, I guess, with
Right.
Paris, Jesse, Kaylee, and Derek. I
Kayla.
guess
Yeah.
The Pretty People
Kayla.
Alliance.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
and gosh, Paris is already disappointing me. I mean, please do not be in a showmance, please.
I told y'all. I told
Yeah, you
you.
did.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
man. This season's gotta turn out better, right?
I
Like,
mean, this
no,
season.
it doesn't.
Trust me,
But
no. This season will be great. Canada has never let me down. Canada has never let us down. But last this edit and last edit was just not the best. I feel like it's just really rushy and it's not
yeah,
really going. It's not really letting the house guests breathe a little bit. You're not.
right.
You're not. There's no sort of like. There's nothing on the structure of the dynamic at all.
Yeah, and I know we're jumping around a little bit, but I think that's okay. But can we talk about, while we're talking about the edit, how they just sort of jumped into the veto competition with no context at all?
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. So that's why
I
I feel like I feel like the way that we are kind of going, the format is just a representation of what we got tonight. Like,
right,
we're just kind of like, that's how we feel. Like, so
yeah,
yeah. Jumping into, what do you think about that, Kelly?
oh, I was very like I mean, so I kind of get where they're coming from because like from a TV show standpoint, you have like your events that you need to do and unless there's some kind of like huge alliance flip, like you're not really gonna in the first 2 nights because unfortunately they've done a whole week and they're trying to put it into 2 nights. So we don't have anything to fall back like even as feedsters. So I get like where they're coming from of just trying to show, okay, here's veto and here's a little bit of talking and then here's this next competition and then here's a little bit of maybe they'll flip and maybe they won't and then here's the vote.
right.
But it's still like it's very frustrating. Like I 100% agree that it's very frustrating for the viewers because we don't have any. Like I was so sure I was 100% like, okay, Allie's going home. As soon as the veto was not used, I was like, Allie's gone. This sucks. Like, why would you keep someone who can be a comp threat over someone that for sure won't be a comp threat? And so obviously something happened. And that's why, like, I'm just blown away. And that's because of the edit. So hopefully they'll be able to fill us in, like, in the next episode. Fingers crossed.
And if not the episode, at least I hope it gets talked about in the feeds where we can kind of find out the context of that decision, because it makes out like 0 sense based on the edit.
Yeah. As of right now, the feeds are not on, but in about
in 30 minutes.
33 minutes, like, it's gonna be on. So I'm excited, like, to see the updates and figure out what exactly happened to send her home.
Exactly. I feel like this episode was quite convoluted. I just did not grasp anything really, and especially, I mean, I was doing a million things, but usually, I mean, there's something that I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm just gonna be positive. But I will wait for the feeds to. I'll probably start the feeds later tonight or tomorrow, just depending on my schedule.
Yeah.
And then but yeah, I do think that the dynamic is going to be really interesting with Marin in the house. You could already tell just something different when he walked in, and his confidence. I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Let's talk about the 2 gate crashers. So, who all was surprised that Kristen
Veronica
did not get in, and Veronica?
I know, Kristen, we love you. Can I just say we love you? She was like number 4 on Jokers. What the hell happened?
I 100% believe that she did not get in because she went in as with a hell perspective, and that's what I said last episode. That pisses me off. That you have these 4 people that you can vote for, and you're not getting like the full picture of them.
Right.
You're just getting this this good perspective for 2 of them and this bad perspective for the other 2. And did you notice how both of the people that went in were from the good perspective?
Yeah.
For me, if I didn't get a chance to vote, but if I had, I for sure would have been voting for the two good perspectives because they made me feel better, like getting to know them versus the other 2. I just felt really uncomfortable. So I'm disappointed more with production rather than anything else on that one. It wasn't fair.
For sure. Now, just for a difference of opinion, in what I like to see in Big Brother, I would have totally voted for the 2 evil people just because I want to see chaos in the house. And to me that's interesting. I love characters like Evil Dick, and if we could get a character like that in the Big Brother Canada house, I want to see it. You know, I want to see the supervillain who is going to work hard to be that evil person. But
yes, well, please refrain, Big Brother Canada, from ever putting Paul into your house, please.
Oh my God, seriously.
By the way, speaking of Paul, I thought Hamza got a really Paul-ish edit.
Yeah.
The way he was sort of talking to the house guests and really trying to flip the votes and making it sound like his diary room, he was like, I'm gonna have a hand in every single eviction, and it really looked like that's what he's sort of going for. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if Paul is one of his favorite players.
Yeah, I got more of I didn't super get a Paul vibe from him, but I got a Godfrey from Baby Can 3.
Okay.
I got a major Godfrey vibe from him, like the way that he's talking and the whole wanting to be in control of everything. As soon as I heard him talk more in the diary room, once he was giving more than just being like my pencil guy.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I was getting. Oh, the lone. That's what it is. Like him wanting to be a lone wolf, and that's exactly what Godfrey was.
Right.
Season. So that was like the major vibe that I was going. I know, Lou, that you've seen BB Cam 3. What did you think? Did you get a Godfrey vibe?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Hamza's playing, and I like that. You have to respect someone that's at least getting in there and wanting to sway people's votes. I like that. And Ali, I mean, gosh, okay. Ali, I think, failed in a sense to where so she's bringing up reasons as to why she should not be nominated to Johnny in the restroom. Do you guys remember that in the
Mhm.
washroom, the clouded? So
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh
Remind me
yeah,
what
so
you said.
what's that?" So she's just like saying whatever, whatever, and she brings up, "Yeah, because I know it could be so easy for you to put up the first person that fell," and it's like he could have forgot that, for crying out loud. He could have. Why remind him of such things? And I feel like she really set herself up. And he was just like, "Oh, you know what? That's really easy." And she was the one that brought it up, and it's kind of,
Right.
I think it's completely her fault. And if that's kind of her perspective, or that's how her approach is to like game talk or trying to getting herself safe, I feel very scared for her future.
No, I totally agree. Like when I was watching this and in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, if I'm Allie, because I'm the first one that's dropped, like, what do I tell Johnny to not put me up? And I was like, oh, I would say, well, it'd be really easy to do this, and like your exact reason. And then it's like, why would I give him that reason? It kind of reminded me of my dad, who would always say like, don't tell people what you
Right.
want them to know, like not like make sure that you're telling them from your still perspective, even if it seems like it's good for them. So
Right.
Exactly.
don't set yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another person. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jacob.
So what I would have done in that situation if I were her is I would have played hard. I would have been like, look, I can protect you. Like, like I want to work with you, sort of thing. That's the way I would have done it. I would have said, hey, I know the reason you put me up. I get it, but we can work together. And she passed up on the opportunity to do that. And I think like if you don't align yourself with the person in power week one, I think you're just setting yourself sort of on a course for failure in later weeks. Because again, she didn't really say anything too much, but yeah, I think she could have just said, "Hey, I want to work with you going moving forward," and made it a little bit less awkward, made that
Yeah, but
interaction a
no,
little bit better.
remember Johnny didn't take the HOH deal in the beginning.
True, true that. Yeah,
Um, I think that might work for other people, but I think for Johnny, I don't know if that would work because he'd be
that's true.
like, I mean, God, he pisses me off so much. I thought Ryan was gonna piss me off. Like
Yeah,
he is pissed. Like from that to winning veto, which was so
winning veto was so stupid.
oh man.
Well, okay, okay. So I see what you guys are saying on that. I know it's like pulling a Shannon. It's like, why are you winning HOH, spelling responsibilities, and then winning like a veto? You don't want to make yourself a huge threat week one. But had he not done that, he could have. He would have had to break in a deal from someone that he might have promised. It was a very small pool, so he could have easily promised everyone safety aside from the people that he nominated.
But that would be stupid to do that, right? Like,
Well, I mean,
because
sorry,
sorry,
it's a no, no, it's a. I mean, it's a good. I can see the tactic because he's offering like everyone's safety, so people will feel great for him, and then he just wants to solidify his noms. I
sure,
do see it from both perspective. I do think that it was a situation where he did promise everyone safety since it was
right,
such a small number of
yeah.
people.
So again, like I would, if one of them had won the veto, if one of the nominations had won the veto, he had an easy out. He could have just put up the person that fell,
Daddy.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, right, easy.
exactly. Yeah, I'm fully with you on that one, Jacob. Like, oh man.
Like,
That's
because now he's a huge target, and his whole like everything before the house was, I'm gonna lay low, nobody's gonna know. That's why I drafted him. Was that I thought he was just gonna float through and sort of, make friends with everybody. He's not doing that, and it's frustrating
oh, yep.
because he's an easy week 2 target, week 3 target. Yeah,
Well, unless he sets the tone for people to want to win challenges and not really, the game could really go either way. He could, people could want to lay low and not show that they're targets, but usually in Canada, they go hard. They go really
Okay.
hard. They want to win challenges. They're not laying super low and trying to float, like the US. So he
Okay.
might be setting the. So if he's in a good position where he's winning challenges, he could potentially, like, he can wiggle his way to make a deal with these strong guys and be like, listen, I can win a challenge. I
Okay.
can have your back,
Yeah, I
And
can
so
see
I
that.
think I think it's a good place for him right now. I think if he if he keeps playing on like if he's this vulnerable character, that's not going to work for him. People can already see the savviness. We can see it as viewers, and we haven't really
Right.
spent too much time on the show, so I
Yeah.
can't even imagine living with him. And then if he keeps wavering back and forth like how he did with this head of household, I believe that he'll like if he's like, oh yeah, I want to get this person out, but I want to do this, but I want to do that, but
Yeah.
he was really wavering, and it was he needs to know what he wants in the game, and if he does, I believe that he could build up a good resume moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, if the game is about winning things, then he's set himself up nicely. But the skeptic in me and the new Big Brother fan who in me has seen the last few seasons of Big Brother US and some of even Big Brother Canada 5 and said the people that win things don't get rewarded with the grand prize most often.
Yeah,
It's the
no,
it's,
it's true.
it's the
Yeah.
most sympathetic character, which is
It's true because towards the end game, that's the thing. The first half of the game, it's good, because people will be afraid to put you on the block or backdoor
sure.
you, but then as you get deeper into the game, it's like, hey, remember those 3 HOHs and 2 POVs? This guy
Right.
won. That's when it becomes a little tricky. But I think for the first couple weeks, I think Johnny's actually going to be okay. That's just my feeling.
Okay.
But
Well,
but
that makes me feel better.
no,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just kind of what I feel. I didn't get, but that could also be the edit. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, exactly. Unless he could be like Dimitri from last season on BB Cam 5.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily. I mean, he did win the first 2 comps, but those weren't against the entire house.
No.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens.
And then I also have to touch on one more thing. So Veronica, I mean, I don't know. So she gets on stage and she's like, "So yeah, I don't want everyone to know, I don't want everyone to know that I'm a or a newbie." And then her strategy is to say that they came in as super fans. What the hell? Like I don't understand it.
I want to say even before that, anyone who answered the question as "I don't want people to know" were so stupid.
Yeah, you're giving information to the potential other
The
people.
other gender, exactly. So I don't know, like why Kristen, because I assumed that Kristen was going in, and why she would say, "Oh, I don't want anyone to know that I'm a super fan." And I'm like, Kristen, are you insane right now? Like, one of these guys are going in with you.
Yeah.
You're not by
Loco.
yourself right now.
Right.
Oh, man. So anyway, I definitely agree with you though, Lou, about your analysis with Veronica. Like she seems really nice, but at the same time, they just I don't know how it's gonna work out for her.
I mean, she just said on stage with Arissa that she doesn't really know about the game, and then she's gonna lie to the house guests that she's a super fan, or they're gonna ask like, "Hey, do you know who Kevin Martin is?" She's gonna be like, "Huh? Like, what are you doing?" Like it just.
Exactly.
I don't think that was very.
What would you guys say?
I do think that the draw in the audience was a really good idea. That was cool.
I don't. Here's the reason. I'll tell you why. Nobody goes to a taping and brings a whole duffel bag full of clothes. Like,
that's so true.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Go ahead, Jacob.
So yeah, I mean that story doesn't make any sense to me. Like that you won a drawing and you got front row seats or whatever would be cool had you not had a duffel bag full of clothes with you.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of, well, I actually, because they could work that out, be like, okay, as like if you were entered into this drawing and you were pulled out to like be in the audience, make sure to bring something just in case you get pulled in. But if they say that then everyone's gonna have to assume that they've seen the first episode, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like another major issue with it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what I would say. Honestly, that's a very high pressure lie, but like, let's see.
Honestly, I would literally say that we're a twist. I would say that we're a twist, and I mean, I would make some shit up like to where I would be safe for 2 weeks. I'd be like I have a power in 2 weeks. If I'm still here, I have a power and I can use it or something.
That would be so bad. If you say I'm still here in 2 weeks, then I have a power that I can use.
Right.
Like,
and then I'm voting you out. Yeah.
That's true.
But I know what you mean. But I don't know if they can say that they're a twist.
No.
Because it has to be a realistic lie or like a believable lie or something like that.
I mean, but honestly, these people are not idiots. Like, really, you come in, like, what are you gonna say? Sorry, I got locked out. Like, really, what are you gonna say? Obviously, they're there because they came late. They're gonna know it's America's vote or something with production, or I'm sorry, Canada's vote. They're gonna know. They're gonna know some sort of. I mean, like what? I think it's unfair actually to make. I think it's unfair.
Oh yeah.
What about like that they had a competition?
They competed to get it in the house. Yeah.
So they were still in sequester, like, and they competed their way into the house.
Kelly, that's why you need to be on Big Brother.
That's why, Kelly. Do you hear this, Robin Cass? Get this girl on Big Brother. Seriously, I will give my Big Brother plates for you any day, Kelly.
Oh, that's so nice, but that would never happen because we're not the same gender. But that's so nice.
But that's okay.
Oh man, wouldn't that be wonderful? Anyway, any final thoughts on the episode before we close this out?
The alliance is stupid. I hate the alliance.
Yeah.
It's been played out. I hate it. You know, I want them all to leave.
Diaper Alliance 2.0.
Yep.
Remind me again, because apparently I'm spacing. Which one was the Diaper Alliance?
So Peely and Kevin.
Yeah.
And Zach.
Okay, right.
And Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And it even has Kayla in there, right?
Yep. Yep.
Oh man, these people are ridiculous.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Boring ass alliance. Like it's been done before. Get it. You know. I hope somebody blows it up.
I know for sure that Ryan and Andrew are in an alliance. Like, let's be real.
Sure.
I want to see that edit. Can we get to that? Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see more of Hamza. I want to see more of Hamza doing like shady things and trying to get everyone on his side. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see this showman stuff. Please, Canada, don't do it to us.
Yeah, definitely. I also want to see what's going on with Erica. She seems pretty cool. But we'll get to see that in like 15 minutes, so that's nice.
Yeah.
How are you guys watching the feeds tonight? Or you know what? We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
So that's I have no predictions about the next HOH other than I think it would be cool if someone who was in hell this past week wins HOH that they only nominate people that were in heaven. Like,
okay.
I mean, only because if I was in hell, like I would figure out a way to make it seem that it wasn't because they were in heaven, so that way they had safety for the last week. But I hated having the option that I was going home out of 6 people. So I would definitely want to have the heat kind of turned on them.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I like that strategy. I think it's super solid. I will make a prediction. I think we're going to see one of the big boys win HOH next week, or on Monday.
This upcoming week.
Yeah, I think they'll surprise the world, Canada, and pull out an HOH. Put up Johnny.
Oh man, it'd be bad if Andrew won HOH.
Yeah.
I am definitely predicting that Kirsten or that other guy, one of these guys are going to go back into the house, I feel. One of the Hellgate people. I feel like it will be a twist and maybe they'll get sent back. Come on. How can you do that to people? Like,
no.
Are we serious? Like, is that really, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Give them another chance.
I felt the exact same way during BB Can 2 with the other 2 people that didn't get in. That really, really sucked. Like they were in sequester for a week. Stop. They were in sequester for a week, and they didn't get in. And I know for a fact that they did not get in because they were 2 guys compared to 1 girl. Sean, stop it.
Goodness.
Okay.
Behave.
It's Sean trying to play the saboteur.
Sean is trying to play the Fallout 4 nuclear bomb. Oh my goodness.
Oh
man.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, like literally, I'm super excited just to kind of see where the dynamics fall on the feeds. I'm gonna get to them tonight, and we'll also do feed updates. So we'll just letting our fans know, letting the people, our viewers know that, yeah, we'll definitely be doing some feed updates shortly after, this week. We'll play it out.
It better be better than how this episode went, though, this season.
Unless the feeds suck, then you will
Yeah.
never hear from us again.
At least for this few episodes. I mean, I can't ever give up on Big Brother. But yes. Yeah, no, let's be strong. We're gonna give up. We're gonna leave.
We got this.
All right.
Okay, so
And
go ahead, Lucifer.
Arissa Cox, follow me on Twitter.
Okay, so we are out of here, and we will see you guys for our next episode, which is probably on Monday.
Yep.
Later.
Later.